when I enter something new, or like when I do something new, it's like, ever since I can remember, it's always like, are you good enough? Are you mature enough? Are you old enough?
So do you think that springs from the fact that you were selected at a very early age to kind of jump these classes and
No, it was a choice. I made that. It was a conscious choice on my
like
part.
even being a choice on your behalf? Do you think that that's kind of the reason why you're feeling like that today? Because you had to suddenly you weren't the standard like everyone else. You had to kind of live up to an expectation of being like a little genius prodigy child.
But there's like a second part to that. I think because I was sort of like a headstrong child, when I thought, was I good enough, I followed that usually up with enough research or enough work to make sure I was good enough. So when the constant question is always, is she old enough? Is she like fit enough to take an American university experience on? And to prove my point, I think I would overcompensate and make sure that my emotional maturity was up to the standard that people expected them to be. And in a sense, so it was sort of like pushing yourself, but I think the biggest learning that I learned from all of this is that if you push yourself enough, you can always get to that state where at least you're confident with it. And I think I've really turned this work ethic onto a lot of other things, going in grad school, like going in like changing careers, or like I've most definitely used that. But there is always doubt. But if there isn't doubt, I think I'd be quite scared of that as well. So I take doubt as sort of like a welcome emotion in a way. And it's always really, really gratifying when you've like made a piece of work, and say like when I'm painting, if it takes me a few hours and I'm always painting, and I think about 2 hours in, I usually start getting doubts. I start getting, is this good enough? Like, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the way it is. But the more I paint, the more I learn that actually this works. So you sort of change your mind, or you adjust your mind to adapt to the form that is there. So you work with what is there. So you continuously keep adapting, and that's why I think painting is such a sort of like a meditative process for me, because it allows me to accept my doubts, sort of work over them every time I paint. It really happens every time, every single time.